Change. Stream starting soon.
YouTube hasn't.
No, that'll flick over.
Oh, at 6 minutes?
It's obviously behind, isn't it?
Oh, there, it's done it. Right, okay. Well, it's a bit fuzzy. Hopefully that'll catch up. We've had this before with YouTube, haven't we? With it being fuzzy.
I can hear you on the broadcast. And I can hear me.
Can you hear me as well?
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. Welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I am Clyde Whiting, and tonight we bring you round 8 of the BSTV GT4 TCR Challenge, live to you from Winton in Australia. In the booth with me tonight, drum roll please, we have Sir Alan Toon.
Good evening, my friends. It's a pleasure to be here in the mist.
And making his debut on the cameras, it's Pete Bingham.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you enjoy. Hopefully I can keep up with the cameras.
So
He's a knob.
Alan, Winton, Australia. It's tight, it's twisty, it's new to iRacing, but looks like one of those tracks that is going to give us some fantastic racing. Now, I'm pretty damn sure that you've already been round this track in some sort of car. What are your first impressions?
Oh, twisty. Twisty. It's twisty, Clyde. Busy little circuit. The guys are going to have their hands full this evening. They're going to get no time off on this track, and look, you can see the way it's tight, and it's as twisty a track and tightest track as I've ever been on, and yeah, very interesting. I've not seen a race on here. I've taken the TCRs out, and the track like the TCRs. Yet again, I think the GTs might be a bit of a handful around here.
Yeah, I must admit, I've literally only just bought the track, so I've not managed to turn any laps on it. But it looks a bit like, shall we say, a series of straights followed by hairpins, which in theory, Alan, should make for some decent overtaking opportunities.
Yes, it could be. We don't know, do we? But it could be feast or famine, and I'm plumping on the side of feast.
Yeah, well, we all like a feast, don't we? It's one of those tracks, unlike American tracks, where every single part of the track seems to have a name. Now, I'm not going to even pretend to know them all or go through them, but I have got a track map in front of me. And it's unfortunate that Pete isn't driving tonight, because there is a corner named after him. It's called Rollover Corner. And I'm sure if anyone could have rolled their car over, it would have been Pete. But yes, it looks on paper anyway, and I mean that literally. It looks on paper that it's going to give us some absolutely fantastic racing. I have watched V8 supercars in real life round here, and they always have some good racing. So really looking forward to this. We are just 3 minutes into qualifying at the moment. So let me just, as usual, take you through our current standings. So in the GT4 Drivers' Championship, Simon Trendle leads the way for Team Chimera with 4.36. Biggest gap of the season over Wobbly Kneecaps for BSTV Esports Pink on 4.04. And Jamie Wilson bringing up the rear in third place for Team Chimera on 3.85. In the TCR Drivers' Championship, Stephen Walker had some, shall we say, he had some luck last week, and has managed to stretch his lead now. Biggest gap in TCR so far this season. He's currently on 400 points for Spectre 6. Russell Cowell in second for Spectre 6 Hyundai with 369. And teammate Shane Powell on 348. In the team championship, Team Chimera lead the way with 821, Spectre 6 Hyundai with 717, and Spectre 6 on 713. Driver of the meeting, also tight. Simon Trendle has 6 votes, Jamie Wilson and Shane Powell 5 votes each. Then we go into the head-to-head, and it is the TCR quarterfinals. At the moment, quarterfinal 1, Spencer McCarthy and Sam Blease tied on 28 points after both having a horrendous round last time out. Quarterfinal 2, Russell Cowell leads Matt Elmore by 52.44. Quarterfinal 3, Stephen Walker leads Carl Hardy by 62 points to 51, and in quarterfinal 4, Shane Powell leads Gary Craig by 71 to 55. Obviously, round 8. This is the last scoring round of the quarterfinals, and then we will know who goes into the TCR semi-finals to join the Gt4 semi-finalists for rounds 9 and round 10. Last time out we was at Laguna Seca. Simon Trendle took away the win in GT4 with Jamie Wilson second and Rob Venn third. Stephen Walker took away the win in TCR with Shane Powell second and Gary Craig in third. So, P, I'm hoping that you've done all your updating you needed to do in the background.
I have, yeah.
Winton, have you had a chance to take anything round this track yet?
I have, yeah. The TCR in week 13. It was a blast, to be fair. Turns 1 and 2, that first chicane, that is the prime way, and it proved it last night, actually, in the officials that some of these guys ran, that if you approach that in the right way, the drive off that chicane you get sets you up beautifully for an overtake into turn 3. And other drivers that I didn't know, obviously, because it was an official, were doing the same thing. There was some pretty bad drivers in there, but they were all getting done really at turn 3, Honda corner it was. It's very difficult to effect an overtake for the rest of the lap. The twisty bits are one line through it, and then as you come to the penultimate corner and the last corner, there's overtaking opportunities there, so I would look for people to literally throw it up the inside of people. I found it a very difficult track to navigate because I'm not very good. When you get a tyre on the dirt or the grass, you're just dead.
And again, on paper, because I've never driven it, the pit lane looks interesting.
It is, yeah. It's you've got a long way to travel to get into the pit road, and then when you're in there, it's you've got a very hard right-hand turn for a start. Then you've got a little chicane, which you don't need really, do you, when you're going into the pits, because you're trying to busy fiddle with all the buttons and things to stop your tyres changing or whatever you're trying to do. And then there's you find your pit box, and then there's a kink on the way out, which just throws you. It's a troublesome pit road, let's say that, and we're going to see that tonight, obviously. You don't see that in the officials, but you will in this series.
Obviously we don't have a previous winner or winners because we've never raced here before. This track new to iRacing for this season. We're on the national layout, which I think is the biggest layout here. It's 1.86 miles long, so ideal length for touring cars, and it's in Winton, which is in Victoria in Australia. Also, I suppose I should mention happy Star Wars Day to all of our viewers. It is May the 4th be with you. Let's have a quick look at how things are panning out at the moment. Nearly 9 minutes into this qualifying session. Simon Trendle leads the way in GT4, Jamie Wilson in second, Rob Venn in third. Wobbly Kneecaps, interestingly, down in 5th at the moment. I did see on the Discord chat this week that he hates this place more than Donington, which is hard to believe. Spencer McCarthy leads the way. Stephen Walker leads the way in TCR, with Spencer McCarthy up there in 2nd and Carl Hardy in 3rd. Alan, couple of questions for you. Let's start with GT4. Is Wobbly Kneecaps genuinely struggling round here, or are we going to see, as he pops up to 3rd, are we going to see the usual Simon Trendle Wobbly Kneecaps battle?
I suspect we will. I don't think there's going to be any getting away on this circuit, is there? I'm pretty sure that's the way it will pan out, and we might get to see a good fight at the front there. It'll be interesting to see if last week Stefan was hanging in, and Rob came from nowhere at the last. Now I don't think this is such a different track from Lagoon. I don't think there's much you can say from that, because it's a tricky old track. I'm expecting to see a few wheels on the grass.
Yeah, Rob Venn showed some fantastic pace, didn't he, last time out? So let's see what he can do. TCR, I know qualifying's not everything, but Walker has got 4 tenths at the moment over Spencer McCarthy.
Yes, early days, though.
Yes, very true.
We often get a run at the end. Good to see Carl in 3rd. Yeah, I think it's his. Is that his 3rd week qualifying in 3rd place? Something like that. Well, getting onto the grid, getting onto the leaderboard in 3rd. Fantastic driving by Carl at the moment.
Well, Carl's interesting, you know. I'm currently building a little thing to do with GT4 and TCR stats from when we started this league a couple of years ago. And the section that I'm working on at the moment in my spare time is series fastest laps at all the tracks that we visited, and I was actually surprised at the amount of times that Carl Hardy's name has came up in these fastest laps.
Oh, yes, that's interesting.
So I'm hoping to get it all finished and released for the end of the season. Pete will probably pay me money not to, because it doesn't have very good reading for Pete. But you know, it is what it is, and I do like a good stat, and all the information's there, so we'll put it all together, and we build something, and everybody can see it. Viewers, just in case we've got anybody new, it is a 1-hour race. The cars are fuel limited, so there will be an enforced pit stop, so we'll get to see just how tricky this pit lane is. Apart from that, they do get 1 fast repair if things go horribly wrong, and once they reach 15 incident points, they will do the drive of shame through the pit lane, and they will get a further drive of shame every 15 pit stops, 15 incidents. So what's this track like for off tracks, guys? Is it an iRacing horror show, or have they been sensible with this one?
For me, of course, I hardly ever get an off-track, Clyde. You know, it's such a rare event in my career, really.
I think that's because, Alan, you have to be on the track in the first place to get an off-track.
There is that, and there's also the matter of pace. I can creep up on them, you see. Now, most people are going far too quickly.
Combine that with a stealth paint, and yeah, you're well away. What about you, Pete? What was the general consensus in week 13?
Picking up off tracks on the outside of corners, because I was far too eager on the gas, is the main way that I generated them. I think the really good guys around here shouldn't do, But if they are pushing, they will. It's not a wide track around the corners. That's the thing. The straights have got quite a lot of width to them, but there's only one line through the corners, and it's easy to go wide at the exits. A bit like Simon was doing there. You can see it in the background there. Everybody's fairly close to the outside, apart from Carl.
Yeah,
those GTs are big cars. They look big on here, don't they?
They certainly do. We've got Chris Jackson on the chat saying afternoon, gents, and Marco Lawert. Hi, everybody. So good evening and welcome to those two. We are on the final knockings of qualifying at the moment, and lo and behold, the kneecaps Trendle battle has carried on in qualifying. Wobbly now top of the pile, Simon second, Jamie relegated down to third. No change at the moment in the major positions in TCR, although there has been a few movers and shakers in the minor positions. Obviously once the checkers are out now, but once the session has finished, we will bring you your official starting grid. I think we're going to get a number of laps tonight, and I think for Pete making his debut on the cameras, it's going to be a very busy evening for you, Pete.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very hectic race. I don't see this one being a calm one for a camera person, it has to be said.
No, that's right, and you know, obviously, especially in TCR, Stephen Walker opening up that smallish gap at the top of the leaderboard. There's only 4 races to go after this. We've got Mid-Ohio, Interlagos, Knock Hill, and Imola to come. So the drivers behind him are going to be wanting to make up as many points as possible, if possible. And then in that GT4 battle, it looks like the kneecaps Trendle battle is going to go all the way to the end of the season. So yeah, it's going to be good. Oh, hang on, we're just having a look at pit lane now.
Yeah.
That's sharp.
It's got a chicane. It's very unusual for a pit lane.
Yeah, well, that part's very
horrific, isn't it?
Bathurst-y, isn't it? The chicane part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that turn going in is amazingly tight. I hope the drivers have been practicing their pit stops, because otherwise we may see a few errors when it comes to pitting time.
It's a long way to Australia, but I can imagine we'll still be able to hear them.
As you can see, we've got a bit of fog as well. So let's bring you your official starting grid. So GT4, wobbly kneecaps for BSTV Esports. Pink claims the pole. Simon Trendle in second for Team Chimera. Jamie Wilson in third, teammate in Team Chimera. Rob Venn in fourth. Stefan Goebel goes off fifth, and Chris Needham goes off sixth. Stephen Walker for Spectre 6 Purple claims the pole in TCR. Spencer McCarthy. I wish Pete would stop pressing buttons. Spencer McCarthy for Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing in second, and Carl Hardy for Safeguard by Result in third. Russell Cowell goes off fourth, with Shane Powell in fifth. Matt Elmore goes off in sixth, with Gary Craig in seventh. Matt Flannery is eighth, Ollie Ricks ninth, David Ayres in 10th, and rounding out your TCR field is JB Dejoux in 11th. So a little bit short on the numbers tonight, but people are starting to go on holiday and things like that. I'm sure Jason Haddington will be watching. I can't remember where he's going, Lanzarote or somewhere like that. I'm sure he'll do a spin by the pool for us, just to keep his spinning ways going. I'm expecting that, as per usual, the TCRs are going to give the GT4s plenty of room. As we noted when we first came on, Alan, bit of fog about tonight.
Yes, seems a bit variable, and you don't know what it's like down on the track. But I don't think it'll be helping, especially with these tight conditions on the track.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. Oh, hello, hello.
Sorry.
Is that Wobbly playing silly buggers already? Oh, two Chimera guys nearly got together then. We hadn't even started yet. Come on, boys.
Get back here, little shit.
Oh, Wobbly's gone. So we are green.
Well, we're green. Oh, goodness me.
We
Go,
are
go.
green. So Simon Trendle trying to hold on teammate Jamie Wilson, and TCR's a gone. Good jump there by Stephen Walker. Carl Hardy is under pressure already. What happened?
He's going to be okay. He's going to be on the inside.
No, what happened to Spencer McCarthy? He qualified.
He was stalled.
I hate to speak to... There he is.
Oh, please.
We'll have to have a look there, Pete, at some point and see what happened. Oh, did he start from pit lane? I think he did, didn't he?
Yes. He did.
Okay, that's interesting. We know Spencer's had a few issues with his PC, so maybe he was just trying to help his PC out. But anyway, that has promoted Carl Hardy up into second place. So let's see if we can keep that up.
Yes, he'll be coming back to midfield, I expect. So
yeah, he's got the Cal Powell twins behind Carl.
Well, that's familiar territory for Carl. If he's got Messrs. Cowell and Powell chasing him down. And Stephen, we'll have to see what the gap goes like. And Wobbly, he's in front.
Yeah, that's the first lap over already.
No.
Right, so this battle here is Gary Craig putting some pressure on Matt Elmore. Gary Craig switched mid-season to the Hyundai Velociraptor. Still getting to grips with it. Spencer McCarthy has already made up a couple of places. He's got past JB Dejoux, and also, no, sorry, I'm lying to you. That is Matt Flannery that I'm looking at. Spencer still bringing up the rear. It doesn't look like Ollie Rick started either.
In the pit lane, presumably. Yeah. Was he on the grid?
I'm not sure. I don't know if he took the grid, to be honest. So nice to see, even though Gary has changed car, he's still got his John Deere wheels on.
Easy to spot the cars.
So Stefan Goebel putting pressure on Rob Venn at the moment. Top two have already broken away.
Yes, this is that was quick, isn't it? They've got Jamie 2 seconds already. They've really got their mojos working.
But then Rob, Stefan and Chris all under a blanket.
I don't imagine there's a lot of tow on this track. But you never know.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the straights are long enough, does it? Or
no, not to me, but I haven't been on there with anybody else. So.
Yeah, or maybe if there is a bit of tow, by the time it's starting to take effect, it's all over. But Russell Cowell is putting Carl Hardy under a lot of pressure, to the point that he was actually inside his boot there. And then behind them, Shane Powell, Matt Elmore, Gary Craig, again, another 3 cars under a blanket.
Russell Cowell was excellent in his official race yesterday. Super fast.
Okay, said no one ever. Somebody was a little bit wild at the back end of that picture there. I don't know if it was JB. Ooh.
Exciting times.
Well held. That nearly got a sound effect, just not quite. Although inside the car, he was probably going.
Certainly, Spencer was interested by that.
Yeah, Spencer's right up now with JB. This battle's not gonna go away. And these two have pulled a little gap on Shane Powell in 4.
Ooh.
I honestly thought that was a coming through.
I thought it was through then.
But yeah, let's drag in the other 3 back into this battle.
But that, you see, one's just a wheel in the dirt, and everything's like the potential for instant change, because it doesn't take much, does it? That was just a slight off.
It certainly doesn't. So, pretty much 5 cars under a blanket now.
Lose them right up. But I think that's taken a little bit of the pressure off Carl for a second, so he'll be glad.
Now, I think I'm not going to call it an issue, but something that all the drivers are going to have to put up with is, I wonder how many times these TCRs are going to get lapped by the GT4s. And we know with the close racing in TCRs, it's not always that easy for the GT4s to get through, especially if they come up against a battle pack. So any gaps you see in GT4 could, in theory, either double or disappear when the lapping starts.
It's only 2 seconds a lap difference, though.
Yeah, I thought it would be more than that.
No, because the twists and turns, because there's so many slow corners, the GT4s have to be very careful on the gas, whereas the TCRs just nail it as soon as they hit the apex or before.
So they may only have to go through them once then.
Yeah, and
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. Well,
it depends, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does depend. It depends on the pit stops as well. This is not a high fuel usage track either. We found out yesterday. The refuel for the TCRs is only about 20 litres, I think.
Right, okay. And just in the background of that picture, I'm seeing Rob Venn dragging that group up to Jamie Wilson. And there it is on your screens.
Now, this week it's Rob leading Stefan around. Last week we had the opposite.
Yeah. Well, I say, we did see Rob with some fantastic pace last time out. So yeah, it's going to be. Oh, there was a little nudge there.
Careful, chaps. We want them to be careful, don't we? We're all close racing, but not, inside each other's cars, maybe.
No, I noticed it on the first couple of laps, and I was wondering what was going on. But Simon seems a lot more comfortable braking later than Wobbly does.
That's interesting. Maybe that's a fundamental difference in driving style between these two.
Well, yeah, they're in exactly the same car. It could be something in the setup. So just every braking point, Jamie closes in. But then I think Wobbly's got better traction coming out. But this is on now. This is on, most definitely.
Well, this is good news for the leaders, of course, because if they start fighting, they're never going to close that gap. And Wobbly and Simon are going to be...
Oh!
Hello. Ooh, that was Chris. I think he was probably quite under pressure anyway, so...
I think he just lost it out of the final turn, didn't he?
It's... I'm
Is
just
it the
trying
final?
very
It's
hard.
not-
Look, it's getting slightly gapped. It's probably just slightly overdriving.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do. Well, in the tyres, not in the concrete, but meatball.
No, but
pit.
yeah, immediately towed to the pit. So, like you're probably right there, Alan. A meatball flag, and that's a shame because he would have got right on the back of this
Yes.
battle.
Yes, it would. Yes.
Evening to Anthony Jacobson on the chat.
Come to wave the flag for his friend Carl. He was doing incredibly well. We're only second. It's unbelievable. But yes, Russell is keeping him in close company, and they're well used to this, aren't they? These two, so.
Yeah, Russell's pulled that little gap again, hasn't he, on Shane, which has allowed him to have another go at Carl rather than worrying about being attacked from behind.
Stephen Walker's gap.
Yeah,
6
Stephen Walker
seconds.
has checked out, hasn't he, because these are battling.
I think he's in a GT4.
He had a good pace in the quali there, didn't he? He was quite noticeably quicker.
On his own, though.
Yeah, although, you know, again, admittedly I've not driven the track, but it looks like a high concentration track for the drivers.
I think so. I found it to be.
Yeah, a mistake can be just around the corner.
I found it really quite demanding, you know, because of concentration, and you know, there's not a lot of time off with in the steering because there's a lot of work and concentrated periods, and the straights are too short to actually get your breath back.
Yes, it certainly looks like a track that gives you a good workout.
I did enjoy driving it though. I've got to say, it was fun in the TCR. It was like Pete said, the car just loves these corners because it just dives through the corners. All that weight in the front just hauls it round in a very jovial and glorious way.
So, what can Rob do about Jamie?
Well, he's probably admiring his car. Brum brum.
Or more to the point, can Rob do anything about Jamie? Is it a track, Pete, where... Oh, hang on. That's second place for Russell Cowell. Gets past Carl Hardy. Now, this is now going to be the interesting bit for me. Can Russell pull away from Carl? Was Carl holding him up? Or is this just going to switch the battle round?
If he's going to try and pull away, he's going to have to work for it, that's for sure, because Carl won't be, he's not for quitting, and he will be hanging on for grim death.
Well, Carl looked quicker through that twisty section. Ooh, little bit of a mistake from Russell there. He's defensive into this one. Carl's going to have to go the long way round, which I'm not sure he's going to be able to do because it's a double right there. Onto the start-finish straight.
Love you. Love you, Mark.
Shane Powell in fourth. He's going, come on guys, let's have some more of that side to side, please. Let me back into this battle. Gary Craig has also dropped off of the back of Matt Elmore into the clutches of Matt Flannery, nearly.
I wonder if something's happened there. So, gap them a little bit.
So back to the GT4 lead battle.
Look at the gap they've got over Jamie.
Yeah, and it was interesting talking to Simon last time out with Wobbly trying to save some fuel. So Simon saved some fuel, so Wobbly saved some more, then Simon saved some more, and then Jamie was right on him. So yeah, it's going to be.
The character of this track is, I think, is counting against that kind of.
Yeah.
We saw a great comeback from Rob as well, didn't we? But Laguna's a very different place from this, and this is technical and demanding. So the places where you're going to be much quicker than the other guy probably aren't many.
Yeah, it pains me to say it, but you know, both Wobbly and Simon are immense drivers. I would possibly err on the side that tactically Simon might have a little bit more about him than Wobbly, mainly because Wobbly's brain is usually fuddled by lager, or rosé wine, or baby sham, or any other type of alcohol he can get his hands on. But yeah, you know, this could be suiting Simon a lot better than Wobbly, just being able to save those, you know, extra couple of millilitres of fuel to make his fuel stop shorter, pass him in the pit lane, maybe there's an undercut on, maybe there's an overcut. We'll probably find out.
You don't know, do you?
Yeah,
Simon's a thinker, isn't he? You know, so you just don't know what he's got in mind, and you know, they might well not be making decisions until the pit stops.
I think Simon's a thinker. I honestly believe he's one of these lucky people that can plan out every possible scenario before a race starts, so he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yes.
Whereas me, I have a plan at the start, the whole plan goes to pot, and then I have no idea what I'm doing, so I make it up and get it horribly wrong.
Yes, but you know, a man can only salute your ambition that you start off with a plan.
yeah.
You know, I've never had a plan yet because I know it would be a total waste of time. The only plan I get is to try and get to this, you know, the stadium before the race starts.
Yeah, there's always a plan in place. It's just never come to fruition. So
Side by side through there, that's exciting stuff.
Yeah, Spencer and David Ayres. Spencer obviously trying to come back through the field after his pit lane start.
That's some fancy paint.
No, that wasn't for a penalty.
Is that a new result livery?
No, that is the BSTV Council paint. Because David hasn't had a paint for this car. However, he did send me one this afternoon, but I couldn't get it in time because I ended up working late. But it will be on next week.
Excellent. That's worth a couple of miles an hour to David.
Yes. But yes, Spencer started from the pit lane. Like I say, it wasn't a a steward's penalty, because that is a bog standard penalty in this series. Not that we've had to dish it out very often, but if one of the drivers does anything a bit naughty, they tend to get a pit lane start. Rob Venn just disappeared. Boom. He's gone full Bingham. No.
Yeah, he's vanished.
That's a packet loss, is it?
Is he out or is he out?
I'm not. I know what going out means, but it's not that. He's dropped right down. I think he's had an internet failure.
Yeah, it'll be. I bet he's had a packet loss.
That's a
shame.
I've seen a lot of those
shame for Rob.
A few weeks. I wouldn't be surprised. That's exactly what happens. People disappear.
Sorry, I was trying to find him. He's not there. So back to the racing.
Yeah, anyway, so after saying that Matt Elmore has started to pull a gap on Gary Craig has reeled him back in again.
Yes, well, that doesn't surprise me, you see. I think maybe Gary had a wheel up or something like that to make the gap in the first place. I don't think there's much in the pace between Gary and Matt, is there?
No. Spencer McCarthy finally gets that move done on David Ayres up into 8th place.
Spencer's having to work terribly hard to get this...
Like I was saying, it's so hard to find an overtaking opportunity. He was remarkably patient there.
Yes, yeah. Oh, he's a good driver, though. You know, we like to see it, don't we? We like to see patient, sensible driving, and especially people who, you know, have got pace, and you know they might justify the odd dive and say, you know, there was a chance, there was a gap, but we like to see that kind of sensible, restrained, you know, and skillful driving.
And let's hope his computer holds up.
Fingers crossed.
Let's look at the head-to-head, shall we? So, Spencer McCarthy is going to make it through to the semi-finals on the basis that there is no Sam Blease. At the moment, Russell Cowell scoring more points than Matt Elmore again, so he is favourite to go through. Stephen Walker scoring more points than Kyle Hardy makes him favourite to go through. And Shane Powell scoring more points than Gary Craig makes him the favourite to go through. So at the moment, as things stand, it's going to be Spencer McCarthy, Russell Cowell, Stephen Walker and Shane Powell in the TCR semi-finals. But a lot can change. I can't get comfortable on my chair tonight. That's not good.
You need more cake.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what I need. I need...
You need a coat. You need a commode for that, don't you?
Yeah. He needs a shot, apparently.
So, Stefan.
Yeah, so with Rob out of the way, due to what we think could have been an internet failure, Stefan now is the one that's going to be challenging Jamie Wilson for the 3rd step on the Gt4 podium. And Rob just put in the chat, blue screen of death, not good. That's a shame, Rob.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
You yet again paced 2 weeks on the trot, so
Yes.
fingers crossed for next week.
Didn't Spencer had trouble last week?
Yeah, Spencer's had a few troubles this season, which is why I'm not 100% sure. But if we get him in for an interview, we'll find out. But that may be why he started in the pit lane, maybe trying to give his computer the best possible start to the race.
Yes, we've had some shocking. What do they call that thing where cars get get locked together on the course.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, that sounds very early to me.
Well, that is... where are we? That might be the earliest possible pit stop, going on what Pete said about it not being a very high fuel usage track. He's obviously not going for tyres, but he's going to brim that tank and hope that gets him to the end.
Come out in a gap.
Well, that's the trouble with a tight and twisty track, isn't it? There are the GT4s going through, so I think
Scheduled stop, so.
Yeah, I think he's clear of any TCR traffic at least. So maybe his mind was made up there, Alan, on the fact that it took him so long to get past David Ayres, and we're still on a replay, Pete. Did I say that out loud?
Cheers.
Yeah, he may have
all
just
hints are welcome.
he may have just decided that because it was so difficult to overtake, he'll try something different.
Yes, and a good call, I think, actually.
Yeah. Oh, you know me.
He's been held up, hasn't he?
I'm always one for doing something different. And Carl Hardy has answered my question there. No, Russell Cowell didn't manage to drive away from Carl Hardy.
No, I didn't think he would.
That's good to see.
I didn't think he would be.
But the pair of them have got a gap now to Shane Powell, who's in no man's land between Carl and Matt Elmore.
Yes, if there was any advantage in the draft, he's lost that now. So it may be come back to the guys behind him if they're not battling.
And Pete, how are you guys finding the Velociraptor?
The Honda was an evil beast, and wasn't at all like it was last season. The changes that they made to either the other cars or to it really gave it a disadvantage on the setups that we were using. Gary's getting a bit fighty. However, the last two tracks, this one and the previous, have very much favoured the Honda again, which is odd. I mean, Stephen Walker's clearly proving that it's 14.8 seconds better than everything else.
Well, I was literally going to say that. You can see how much iRacing have ruined it by how badly Stephen Walker's doing.
Here he is in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Does that... oh dear, I've jumped ship too early feeling come to you at all?
Yes, it really does actually. Yeah. I think I'll be back in the Honda next season.
And yeah, there's not really anything. Oh, hello. Here we go. Now we will find out if Simon Trendle has managed to save a few millilitres behind Wobbly. Is Wobbly going to take tyres? That's going to be a no.
I wouldn't have thought that they would need them on there, but maybe it's a gamble. We don't know what the word's going to be like at the end of the day, do we? Actually, maybe that's the throw of the dice.
Yeah, I fully understand Wobbly's decision there, because if Simon has saved some fuel behind Wobbly, obviously his pit stop's going to be shorter. So get in before, see if there's any undercut.
And
interesting now to see what Simon does.
He's got JB in front of him, so it'll make more sense for him to box the car now before he gets held up in any way.
Yeah, although JB is one of those drivers that will basically commit suicide rather than get in somebody's way.
Oh, he's gone again. Yeah, you're right. You are right, yeah.
So Charles Kellyman, evening to you, sir.
Evening, Charles.
Says hi all and hi Sir Alan. So there's JB in the pits.
Sorry, had to switch.
Gary Craig, as Pete pointed out, starting to get a bit fighty now with Matt Elmore. That's going to bring Matt Flannery into it, maybe.
I'm just putting
Depending on how
sunglasses
feisty
on
they get.
to watch those two. They've got blinding wheels, they have. When they're together, the effect's doubled.
Yeah, so Gary's wheels, he's been running them for a few seasons now. Sponsored
I like
by
them.
Gear.
It's very easy to spot their cars. I love that. I like a nice bright wheel myself. It's because of my psychedelic days.
Yeah, there's no way round there, Gary, not on that double right. But if you get the run out of here, this is what Pete was on about. Get down to this chicane.
Well,
Is he going to try it
just
before
got
the
the
chicane?
room. Has he got the room?
Round the outside
No.
again, which is going to be
No.
the inside.
Oh!
Sorry.
Yeah, he had to bail there, didn't he?
Very, very difficult. Very difficult. And he had a good run on him there as well, and he still didn't manage it.
Yeah, again, I am no expert on this track, but from what Pete was saying, Gary would probably have been better off just sticking behind him through the chicane and trying to get the run out.
Problem is that the Honda's got good drive off the corner, so... ooh, where's he gone?
Whoa, pressure.
That is Matt Elmore. He's going to drop 3 places down to 8th.
Oh, it's good. He's behind David now, then, is he? Yeah.
Gary
David.
Craig says, thank you very much.
David will be rubbing his hands because he likes a nice challenge.
Well, we've already seen how difficult he is to pass.
Yes, indeed.
Excuse me.
He could be the BSTV kidney stone.
Hello. He's gone in. He's taken. He's realised that wasn't a good place to be in. He's just thinking on his wheels.
Yeah, I must admit, David Ayres is not very pretty to look at from the front, so he's probably even worse from the rear. Shouldn't really say things like that because he won't make me coffee anymore when I go and see him.
I'm sure he would. He's far too much of a gentleman.
Right, so interesting things coming up now. Simon Trendle, when is he going to pit? What sort of clean air has wobbly kneecaps come out into? Is he being able to stretch his legs? Did he get held up by those TCRs?
His last lap was 2/10 slower than...
123.9 for wobbly there.
Which work cut out.
That's Matt Flannery in the pits. So Spencer McCarthy's tactic of pitting early is not looking too shabby at the moment, guys. He's picking up places as these other cars pit.
Yes. No, it was smart thinking.
You would think that Gary Craig would look to pit next.
Yeah.
He was. He had Matt Flannery right behind him.
Yeah, and he needs to do something different to Shane Powell, doesn't he? Because there's a good 5-second gap between them after all that battling. So if he's got eyes on getting any further up this this pecking order, Stefan Goebel can't really do anything at the moment about Jamie Wilson. So Stefan would be another one for me that should be pitting now, unless Jamie Wilson pits, and then I would stay out. Struggling to get past him on track, so see if you can do it tactically.
Yes.
Look how sharp
Well,
the
that seems
Porsche
like a good
turns.
shout. It's we can see how busy this is. These straights seem just too short to make a good pass on, don't they? It looks like almost like they've been made to be just too short to allow a car to get by.
Yeah, it would have to be a lunge under braking. Stay out, good lad. Yeah, you've got to do something different to what Jamie's doing. Oh, Jamie nearly overcut.
Nearly. And, of course, Stefan's been keeping up with a little bit of, maybe a bit of toe assistance, but, so... And he's got the nerve to put in a good lap here. So this will be very interesting.
So Matt Elmore, after that little mistake, currently down in 9th position. Matt Flannery in front of him has also pitted, so this is a genuine battle for position. Jamie Wilson out of the pits, so we got a couple of things to keep an eye on now. Where does Simon Trendle come out in comparison to wobbly kneecaps? Where does, what was the other one I was looking at?
Stefan.
Jamie Wilson and Stefan Goebel, those two. And also, how far is Stefan in the following lap? So,
Spencer's behind David Ayres again.
yeah, but David Ayres, everyone in front of Spencer owes us a pit stop.
Right, so he's in a good place now then, isn't he?
Yeah, in theory. So, Jamie Wilson.
53 seconds. Yes,
Pit
come on.
stop was 21.1.
This is looking like a really, well, considering where he started, now how held up he was. Spencer's doing brilliantly here, I think.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of clean track in front of him as well, so he's not being held up anywhere.
So Stefan's in the pits.
Stefan's pit stop was a lot longer than Jamie Wilson.
What's it? Oh!
There you go.
Oh!
Yeah, there was
So
a
on is even.
2 second difference. Shane Powell in the pits.
And
2 seconds might have put him in front, you know.
race
Leader's
leader.
in.
No,
Leader is in. Right. This is a GT4 battle. Wobbly kneecaps. Where are you? Good job that I went half back to Pete.
Yeah, no. Do you remember that? You absolutely annihilated that other guy. That was class. Who did you hit? You destroyed his car. It was class.
Yeah, I can't remember. That was brilliant though.
And all you could say was, "Oh, it's not iRacing, is it?"
Here we go. This one's on. This one is on.
Oh.
There you go.
It's easily done it.
As I said, the Tactical Astuteness Award goes to Simon Trendle. And he's got some gap there, 2.5 seconds.
I wonder if we've got a perfect yin and yang battle with Simon and Wobbly. Wobbly is the ultimate emotional driver, and Simon seems to me the thinking rational thinks it through, you know, and drives smart and really great technique and everything, you know, and yeah, I think this is perfect.
You hit the nail on the head there. For all intents and purposes, Simon is the under control, calm, measured driver. Wobbly is heart on sleeve, pants on fire driver.
Right, works for both of them.
Yeah, well, so our Gt4 answers are in. So the next one is Spencer McCarthy. And do you know what? I'm going to take a punt here and say after these pit stops are finished, he's going to be fourth.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you.
I think he's going to get ahead of David Ayres and
20
Barry
seconds.
Craig.
You think so? Well, we'll see. That's a bold call, though.
So, the TCR leader is in. He can probably afford to have a cheeseburger whilst he's in there. I shouldn't have said that out loud, should I? Because Carl Hardy's going to crash now. Carl Hardy comes in for a cheeseburger or two. Gary Craig comes in. David Ayres comes in. Now we're going to find out where Spencer is going to get to.
Foot down, Spencer.
Oh my God.
Oh my
I'm
God.
right again. I think I'm right again. He's going to get third.
Third.
All right, well...
Everybody
I'm
needs
gonna-
to start from pit lane next time.
I'm going to throw this one out there then, okay? Has he got enough fuel to get to the end?
Technically, he's second, by the way. Russell Cowell hasn't pitted.
I think Russell may have had... No, he didn't.
He
did
didn't.
Because
No, he was
right
only just
behind-
just ahead of Carl.
Yeah. So, Adam Wright.
Here we go.
Right, here we go. Let's talk about Adam Wright after this pit stop. Let's see what Spencer has pulled out of the bag. We are, for all intents and purposes, 42 minutes into this race. Here he comes.
Oh,
Russell's moving. This is going to be
It's close.
Russell. This is going to be Russell. Oh, Spencer going to get around the outside. Okay, so this could be a master stroke from Spencer, or it could all go horribly wrong. So back to Adam Wright. Now, Adam Wright, we found out today, is working his notice. Now, I can only assume that he's had to quit his job. He's had to quit his job through insanity, because he's just put on the chat nice cams. He obviously doesn't realise that Pete is doing it. So,
I'm talking about the cams in the car, I think.
yeah, that must be it, yeah. 17 minutes to go. What can Wobbly do about Simon? Can he catch him? If he can catch him, can he pass him? Stefan Goebel has been stuck behind Jamie Wilson for a big majority of this race. Is there anything he can do, or is he relying on Jamie Wilson to make a mistake? In TCR, Spencer McCarthy is in second place after starting from the pit lane, and looks like he has pulled a tactical masterstroke. However, has he got enough fuel to get to the end? What other battles have we got? Can Carl Hardy get back with Russell Cowell and put a battle on there? Shane Powell's still in a bit of no man's land.
So pitted.
Yes, everybody is pitted now.
So there's nothing in it. They're still locked together, Carl and Russell. So this is down to any kind of a mistake, isn't it? If Russell can drive it clean, I think he's probably okay. But if he makes an error, and pressure counts.
So far, mistakes have been few and far between.
Yes. Well, you wouldn't expect many from these guys, would you? But yeah.
But
the odd wheel on the grass has made a difference, though.
Yeah, as you quite rightly said, Alan, you don't get a break on this track.
Oh, hello. What's that?
That's JB.
Letting them by.
Being a gentleman as usual and getting right out of the way. Yeah, this track certainly gives you a workout, Alan. So if you're going to make a mistake, it's going to be in that last 10 minutes.
Yes. No, it really does. I'm sure these guys will be sweating and panting. Their arms will be aching. They'll be force feedbacked and ready for a cup of tea, I think. After this, because this is a proper workout.
Yeah, and any little gaps that these GT4 drivers are pulling, as I just looked up and saw that Wobbly has taken a second out of Simon. That gap was 2.5 seconds. It's now under 2 seconds.
He's charging, look. He's charging like crazy.
Actually see him now. Wonder if Simon got held up a little bit by that TCR behind Wobbly, which I think may have been David Ayres. Because, even with the speed difference in these cars, if you catch a TCR at the wrong place in the track, you're just going to have to sit behind and wait your turn.
And, of course, we've got fairly extensive sections of this track where you've got a lot of corners coming at once where you're not going to get by. It's narrow.
Exactly,
in the corners.
Yeah, that
and it can be held up.
Let me get my track map up. That section, rollover corner, Penwright corner, Potomac corner.
Yeah.
That really twisty section before Shannon Straight. You're just going to have to sit behind and unless the TCR jumps off the track, which isn't going to be happening.
I don't think it's an easy place to do it, even if you wanted to.
I know. So Adam Wright asks, how is the TCR lead so big? So basically, Carl Hardy and Russell Cowell were battling for second place, which allowed Stephen Walker to disappear up the road. Spencer McCarthy started from pit lane and has got up to 20 seconds behind the leader. What have we got here? That's Matt Flannery, wheel on the grass. Lots of wheels on the grass. That's the Bingham line. And Matt Elmore gets through, takes that position back. We see him lose 3 positions earlier on, didn't we? He's got one of them back.
I wonder if they're getting a bit of tyre degradation. Nobody took tyres, did they?
No, that's very true. Very true. Which may play into Stefan's hands maybe in the last few minutes. Pete will possibly be able to correct me, although he knows bugger all. The Porsche always used to be very gentle on its tyres.
Yes, it was. I don't know what it's like now. It's been a few seasons since I drove it. But compared to the BMW, which is what we were driving against at the time, it was absolutely gentle on them compared to that.
Yeah,
you might still have a surprise at the end.
Yeah, not sure the Aston's too gentle on its tyres, but Yeah, we'll see. Stefan Goebel in the right place, just in case there is a mistake from, what do you normally call him? Jason Wilson.
Yeah, or a random selection of names. But yeah, that's only because I worked with a guy called Jason Wilson for years, and it just seems to stick in my head. According to Rob, the Aston chews the front tyres.
Yeah, is that just with Rob driving it, though?
Maybe, yeah. Tell you what, Stefan is closing.
Yeah, I've just been keeping an eye on the GT4 lead gap, and that seems to have stabilised around the 2-second mark. So I think that was possibly Simon getting held up by David Ayres, which allowed Wobbly to close a second in a lap. It wasn't just pure pace from Wobbly.
No, and of course, if Wobbly put in, and I'm sure he's trying very hard at this moment in time, he's going to get a response from Simon, of course. Simon will respond if Wobbly stops really pressing.
Anything over 2 seconds is a nice gap, isn't it? It's, you know, if you see that car behind you starting to mount a challenge, you can, as you rightly say, Alan, you can then put your foot down a little bit and eke that gap out again.
Got 10 minutes to go, and there's one mistake, and everything could change.
Yeah, I'm impressed that everybody navigated that pit lane without incident.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Showing off they are. I couldn't do it.
Utter miracle, that.
Most of the car is still locked together. And
yeah, again, I'm not sure. Not sure Carl has got anything for him. I'm still wondering about Spencer. And is this a bit of tactical genius, or is it going to end in tears?
well, I think he's looking like second place at the moment, so I don't think that's too bad.
Yeah, it's just whether his fuel tank is looking like second place.
Oh, I've got complete faith in him and his incredible calculations. I can't help it, it's my nature. I want him to do well because I think he's done a blinding drive today. This is he kept his patience brilliantly against being behind David, and he's doing well. So
Okay, what has David Ayres done? This is going to be out wide, I'm sure. Oh no!
oh, well done, David.
Oh, what's over there? Just grass by the looks of it. He's going to be all right there.
Well done.
That's a strange corner, isn't it? Because we've seen people go 4 wheels off the track and get away with it, yet 2 wheels off the track and it's nearly disaster.
Yes.
But that's all it was.
Yeah, it's there's been a lot of action there at that corner, though, hasn't there? It's a lot more dangerous than it looks, clearly.
Sure. So what I was saying about the outside of the corners here, they're the nasty bits.
Yes.
Sometimes it's the inside of the corners, but this track, very much, it's the outside.
And it's throwing you out, isn't it? Always like a little centrifuge.
Right, what's gone on with Wobbly? Because he's lost 2 seconds. Right, that's now a 4.5 second gap. and getting bigger, is wobbly in fuel strife.
He was pushing on before, so if he's slowed down now, maybe.
Yeah, that gap's out to 5 seconds now.
Well, he's going slow. Look at these corners. What a section this is.
Yeah, it's just one after the other, isn't it? And then just to top it off, that is it called Katomi corner? Just seems to go on forever.
Remember going around these corners, God, it's so easy to get it wrong. Because they're doing really a good job, you know. They're making this really tricky course look quite reasonably drivable.
So GT4 leader there, Simon Trendle. Safely navigating a TCR. Right, come on, Carl. Yeah, the back marker always throws something into the mix, doesn't it?
He's a little bit too far behind at the moment.
Yeah, and I think he's going to get it. No, he's not going to get done into this one. And there's another right. And then there.
This is that bad corner.
Yeah, they're now heading off towards the twisty bit. Stefan Goebel kicks up some dust. So there's no way past here. Or
This is
anyway.
Stefan's chance, this.
Isn't it?
Oh, Jamie was brave, and Matt was very
sensible.
Yes, I nearly said compassionate.
What the hell?
Good word. Unusual one for the racing.
So we're
Compassion's not normally a big.
inside the last 4 minutes.
Come on, Carl. Slip in the doodah, whatever it is.
Wide.
Bet they're sick of that corner. I bet they're going cross-eyed with it by now. Ooh. It's under pressure, look.
Ooh.
What a battle these have had. Every week was with these two, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're going to have at least another couple of laps.
Oh. Oh. Eek.
That is the race leader behind them. And that was I nearly said that was a nice wide turn in there from Carl, but that was too wide.
We're racing!
I just heard Gary shouting, "We're racing!" Like Russell Carroll did whatever track that was so funny. He still hates me for soundbiting that.
Right, so leader crosses the line now, so I'm guessing he's going to get past these two, which means they will be on their penultimate lap if he gets past.
Yes.
If not, they're going to have an extra one to do.
Doesn't seem to be much of a hurry.
How's your fuel, Spencer McCarthy?
No, Pete, I'm not out of fuel.
Well, Wobbly says he's not out of fuel. He actually said that.
What is going on with Wobbly?
He's rubbish.
Well, that gap is now 18 seconds. And increasing.
I think he's bored.
don't think it was Boy when he was 2.5 seconds off Simon. He's got away.
So leader is taking the white flag. So Carl has got 2 laps to get this done.
I was trying to show the flag man waving his flag. I got the top of his head.
They work very hard. That man, he's got muscles on his arm. You want to see them? Unbelievable.
Olympic flag waving.
Yeah.
They call him Barney, don't they?
Yeah.
There he goes.
He goes for it.
No holding back.
I think he's sitting behind these two.
Yeah. I didn't think he was making a big effort before.
Yeah, make them do another lap. See if they run out of fuel. He's got no challenge from behind. Wobbly's 21 seconds back.
Shame you're catching up fast, or is it?
Rob thinks that Wobbly has run out of beer.
Could be. Doesn't seem very likely though.
No, probably just run out of talent. Right, Carl Hardy, you've got 1 lap to get this done as Simon Trendle crosses the line for another Gt4 win. Where is our TCR leader? There he is. Spencer McCarthy still up to speed, so looking good at the moment. Back to this battle. I think if Carl wants this, he's going to have to make a lunge.
Yep.
He won't do that.
Yeah?
He won't lunge. He's far too much of a gentleman.
There's a pie in the boot, Carl. Go get it.
Wobbly vanished in front of me, that's all.
Ooh,
But he's finished.
Not going to get round there. This has been a cracking battle between these two.
It certainly has.
Wide.
It's all over now.
But then they've been driving as well, because that would have been hot and sweaty.
Yeah. So Spencer McCarthy did get home in second.
That's quality, man. Well done.
So yeah, that was. I really hope Spencer does normally come in for an interview, so I'm hoping he comes in as usual. He can tell us all about that tactical master stroke.
Yes, that was very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, so Alan,
Great show. Well done.
we saw a very difficult track to overtake on. Not many moves on track, but many moves tactically. But again, another fantastic show from all these drivers.
Yes. Yeah. I wasn't really quite sure at all what to expect from this, and but we got a lot of pairings, didn't we? That were tight battles as they got spread out a bit, and I think there's just the relentless nature of the track took its toll in the end. You know, you've just got to be on it every inch of the time with this track, and I think it's relentless, and it forces the gap, and it forced the gaps, I think, eventually, and we had these incredible little battles between the drivers as they paired off. Yeah, fantastic racing.
Yeah,
it was, you know, it was they were trying so hard, and it wasn't the overtaking, but the actually surviving of a lap and keeping your position was damn difficult.
Yeah, so let's see if our illustrious cameraman can bring us the results in the right order. There we go. So, Simon Trendle takes home the win in GT4 for Team Chimera. Wobbly Kneecaps comes home second for BSTV Esports Pink. Jamie Wilson gets another podium spot for Team Chimera in third place. Stefan Goebel in fourth for VTS Esports. Rob Venn, after a blue screen of death, comes home fifth for BSTV Esports Pink. And Chris Needham, we see him have his spin, taking one for Jason Haddington. Comes home in sixth for RWC Racing Black. Into TCR, Stephen Walker wasn't a lucky win this week. He fully deserved it for Spectre 6 Purple. Second, with a tactical master show, was Spencer McCarthy for Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing. Russell Cowell came home third for Spectre 6. Battled all the way by Carl Hardy, comes home fourth for Safeguard by Result. Excuse me a second. That's better. Shane Powell comes home fifth with Gary Craig in sixth, David Ayres in seventh, Matt Elmore in eighth, Matt Flannery in ninth, JB Dejoux in 10th, and Ollie Ricks didn't start. So, let's get these interviews underway, and we are going to start with TCR winner. And I'm not going to call him lucky this week, Stephen Walker. Welcome to the booth, and a dominant performance and a well-deserved win.
Thanks, mate. I don't know if I feel like that, to be honest. I feel like we were robbed of a great race. I don't know what happened to Spencer. I assumed he disconnected, but I think for him to finish second, he must have just started from the pits, not loaded a tune or something, or set up, sorry, I don't know. I think he would have won if we'd been at the front, but I think he would have had a nice battle. He was quicker than me.
Well, we'll find out when we get him in the booth. We was wondering after his PC issues if he'd started from the pit lane to take the load off his PC at the start, but we don't know. Tell us about this track, mate, because I personally haven't driven it. It looks like it's hard work. You don't get a rest. Not that you had to overtake anyone, but it also seems very, very difficult to overtake on.
Yeah, well, through the practice we did, yeah, like you say, it's very difficult to overtake. Qualifying was important, so I'm really happy I got a really good qualifying for once. I did an official yesterday, and then the practice earlier, I was really struggling with the car. I didn't feel like anything. There was a little patch. The rear tyre pressures had to be 26 rather than 24, so I need to go and have a look at that. But I luckily made a quick change for qualifying and transferred it over to the race, and the car felt how I was expecting it to be. It wasn't particularly fast, but it felt okay to drive. It's a twisty circuit, difficult to be consistent.
Yeah, and Pete was telling us, just how badly iRacing had ruined that Civic, and you proved him wrong again.
I think it just suits me. I really like driving the car, and I'm so far into it for the season. I just couldn't bear changing it to see how it goes. Like, it still feels really good to drive. Like, it's really enjoyable. If I didn't enjoy it, I probably would have swapped, but it's still really enjoyable, and yeah, I'm glad I stuck with it.
Well, that's good to hear. I think you may be the only Civic driver left, so flying the flag for Honda. Like I say, it was a. We'll find out from Spencer what happened to him, but Spencer aside, that was a dominating drive from yourself, and eking out a bit bigger lead in the championship. Also qualifying for the head-to-head semi-finals. So overall, you must be dead chuffed with the way things are going this season, and obviously hoping to carry it on through the last 4 races.
Yeah, it's been a good season. I feel like I've not done as much racing with other people as I maybe should have done through various issues, but I had similar issues last season, maybe not to the same extent, but so obviously it goes one way one season, goes the other way. It might be my turn again next season, I don't know, but it was nice to have pole position. I can't remember the last time I got a pole position since Spencer and Sam have been around, and a clean race, no incidents. So I'll take that going into the last few rounds. I can not relax or rest on my laurels, but just kind of slight less pressure and just try and enjoy racing. Obviously everyone likes winning, but I don't like winning like that. Spencer was catching me at the end. My tyres had just not gone off a cliff, but just starting to wear a little bit. So had we been together on the track, then I think he would have won, to be honest. So I don't know. I feel happy that I won, but also deflated that he was quicker, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Well, the official result will say winner Stephen Walker and not Spencer McCarthy. So lap it up while you can. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, obviously you guys putting it on. It's always good fun, regardless of what happens. And Spencer, I don't know what happened, but I'm just going to assume he started from the pits, and to finish second was fantastic. So he had a great race, regardless of like damage limitation for him, but out of this world pace. Russ for finishing on the podium, the rest of my teammates for sticking with it, and just everyone really. It's just like I say, it's great fun.
Excellent. Well, thanks as usual for joining us in the booth. Congratulations on another win in the series and another win this season. And hopefully we'll see you next time out at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, I like that track, so fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes.
Great driving,
Excellent.
Stephen.
Well done.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Okay, next up, let's bring in our Gt4 winner. We're getting used to saying this now. Simon Trendle, welcome to the booth.
Evening.
Good evening. So, I don't know if it was about halfway through that broadcast. We were saying how close yourself and Wobbly are in these cars, and that you've got two totally different driving styles. You seem measured, calm, under control. Wobbly is more pants on fire. But tactically, I think those two driving styles ultimately mean you're both very close on the track, but you seem to have the edge tactically on Wobbly this season.
I guess that's fair. He murdered his tyres, is what he's claiming. So, yeah, I guess he was a bit pants on fire. I mean, I was pushing. I wasn't fuel saving or anything in that first stint. I was just trying to keep up. But I was trying not to burn the front tyres. So, I guess
Yeah, I think what I'm trying to get at, I'll put it simply, obviously for Pete, pole position for you is not the be all and end all, because if you don't get pole, you tend to find a way either on track or tactically through the pit stops to make a pass. Whereas, some drivers, they have to have pole position, otherwise they're not going to win the race. But you seem to find other ways of winning races if you don't get the pole.
Yeah, that comes from all my endurance stuff that I've done. It's always been about consistency and not making mistakes, and just shortest pit stop wins. Not so much this time. I don't know how I came out about 4 seconds ahead of Wobbly. I think he just struggled coming out of the pits on heavy fuel. But yeah, that was essential on this track, because you can't pass here unless it's a pit stop pass or traffic gets involved. So I was very lucky that I came out in front, actually.
Yeah, and obviously your task is made doubly worse by the fact that you have to carry your teammate week in, week out as well.
Oh yeah, give him the setups every week, and he's still 20 seconds behind me. It's disappointing, isn't it?
Well, I say tactically, that was a fantastic battle. I'm still desperate for you and Wobbly to be, a gnat's pubic hair between your two cars on the last 2 laps of the race, just to see how that goes. But you eke out a bit more of a lead in that championship. So you must be happy overall with the way events played out tonight.
Yep, happy with that. We have some last lap battles. We've done it at Sebring, and that was about the only time. And then since then, we've been separated at the end. It'll come, and maybe not next week because I'm expecting to be a bit slower at Mid-Ohio. It's not a track I get on with very easily. But the remainder of the tracks, there's a good chance there.
Now, you do realise when people say that, I'm going to be slow next week, it's not a track I get on with. It usually means pole position and lights to flag victory.
I'll be amazed if it does that.
Well, anyway, I'd say absolutely fantastic drive. Any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yep, all the drivers in the league, you guys who are running and broadcasting the league, and I guess Jamie, I'll be nice this week to Jamie as well.
Well, you've heard it there, folks. We've had a first tonight. Not just first place on track for Simon, but also thanking his teammate. Well, like I say, congratulations on the victory, mate, and I think you'll go a lot better at Mid-Ohio than you're expecting. Simon Trendle, thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.
Well done, Simon.
Right, so this is the interview I've been waiting for. Spencer McCarthy, welcome to the booth.
Oh, hello, everyone.
Hello. First, why the pit lane start?
Well, no. I was worried about the blue screen. Obviously, no. I've only had a qualifying set on the car, which was silly. And I nipped off for a quick toilet break before the race started. Obviously, as you do, trying to, it's an hour. Don't want to sit here gagging for it the whole way.
It's for a foggy.
It's called doing a foggy in this league.
Doing a foggy. So I nipped off for a foggy, and then got back in. Thought, quick, 20 seconds left. Jump in the car, and then my telemetry thing, JRT, started beeping at me, and I was like, "Oh, fuel!" Quick, jump out again. And as soon as I jumped out, it was like, "You've missed the start," because obviously I think I was the last one to grid. So. Yeah, that was it, really.
Right.
So,
well, we'll edit that out because our version was a lot better.
Oh, what happened?
You
tell me.
You purposely started in the pit lane because of the PC troubles you've been having.
I don't want to ruin anyone's race.
Yeah, and you wanted to keep the load down on your PC, and that was a tactical masterstroke.
Indeed.
That was a great theory. Is that not our theory anymore? That was a great theory by
No, he's ruined
Let's keep that one. That's what happened.
Told people the truth. But what a fantastic recovery drive. You must have really enjoyed that.
I did. I think it's one of those tracks where overtaking was always going to be a nightmare. So I didn't really attempt too many. Obviously, JB, I managed to get JB fairly early on without losing too much, and then caught Dave and had a bit of a dive on Dave. I think a couple of times. Then he went around the outside, around one of the hairpins. But it was a good little battle we had. And then managed to sort of, just do a bit of a send it move into, was it after the chicane? Was that turn 4? Or no, 3? So I got in there, and then it was a case of, I sort of slowly caught Matt, and I was like, right, well, I'm just now going to get up to cars which have kind of my pace, and it's just going to be a real struggle. So, and then all of a sudden, my telemetry sort of said, well, if I pit now, I could put enough fuel in. I think I hit the curbs on the chicane 1 lap early on, and I thought maybe there's a bit of damage on the car. So I'll get that fast repair, get a tank of fuel, get some clean track, and then just put my head down. And actually, I think maybe there was a bit of damage, because after the pit stop, I think my pace came in a bit more. And just sort of kept my head down. And when Russ was pulling out the pits, and I came out, and I was like, "Am I going to get him? Am I going to get him?" And that was it. That was second place. And I just thought, wow, that was quite a good gain for the pit stop. So.
Yeah, well, I predicted you was going to be in 4th after the pit stops, but close behind 2nd and 3rd. But yeah, you managed to jump them all. It was an absolute masterclass, that recovery drive. If we go by our story rather than yours,
Yes,
it
let's do
was
that.
tactical genius.
Yep.
And you know, I was questioning whether you was going to have enough fuel at the end, but you know, whatever you
Well, I
use,
think
it
more than
came up
anything-
trumps.
More than anything, you should have questioned: is my PC going to blue screen again? And
Well,
obviously-
there is that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Rob Venn must have borrowed your PC this week because
Possibly.
he had it.
He disappeared.
But yeah, you know, like I say, absolutely fantastic drive, mate. Any shout outs you want to give?
Well, to everyone else for having a terrible pit stop, I think that needs to be said. You know, I've got the stats in front of me. I was stationary for 12 seconds. The slowest was 16.8 seconds. I don't know what they were doing. And Steve was 14.5. So a whole 2 seconds I had on Steve at the pit stop. I don't know how I managed to get in and out of the pit so quick, but that was a pretty good one. So we'll have a shout out to my pit crew.
Yeah, perhaps your tactic of going for a foggy before the race rather than during the pit stop worked.
Maybe everyone else did that. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just it was a good race. Thanks to obviously everyone racing tonight, and it was a tricky track, but we all just got through it. And a nice laugh about it. So good.
Excellent. Well, like I say, congratulations again on a fantastic drive and a well-deserved second place, Spencer McCarthy.
Cheers, guys.
Right, Sir Alan.
He did well, didn't he?
We are gonna bring in the wobbler himself and
Excellent.
let you loose on him. So
Really?
welcome to the booth, wobbly
crikey.
kneecaps.
Hey,
Really? Oh, wobbly. Wobbly.
Hey, Alan.
Hello, matey.
Hello, mate.
Cool. You've had an exciting day. Talk about up and down.
I think my strategy backfired on me.
Oh, you had one.
I went. Which basically what happened? I saw the TCRs coming up, and then I was like, I'm gonna pit early and change tires or not. I was still doubting that while I was driving into the pit. Then I figured I'm not gonna change tires, and then suddenly when I came out, the car was like 4/10 slower with the full fuel on the tires, and then I knew Simon was gonna do me, and I tried to keep up a bit, but I also murdered my tires by pushing a bit.
Yes.
And then the usual thing happened. I got bored, and so just did like four.
I saw you pushing on. You know, I thought, crikey, he's really pushing on here. And yeah, but then you know, when it was close after the pit stops, you were only a couple of seconds adrift.
Yeah, I could go up like I think like still 15 minutes, and it was like 2.5 seconds the whole time, something like that, just floating up and down. And then he pulled a little bit of a gap on me, and then I got bored. So I did like 5 cooldown laps.
Yes.
Do one quick lap, and I really nailed the chicane on that lap, on the last lap. But then I got the off track on like the second corner already, so I was completely useless as well.
Well, we saw you disappearing, a large gap appearing very quickly. So clearly you were having a rest. I thought maybe you were tired or something. It's a very hard track, isn't it? You're having to work hard around here.
Yeah, I think it's the worst. It's the worst track. I'd rather, and I'm gonna say this is true, I'd rather drive Donington than this piece of shit.
Wow. Hey, that's
right
got
there,
on tape.
Yeah. But in the end, I mean, I had a good run in the beginning with Simon. It was fun, and well, good job to him. I think he's better on the twisty, tidy tracks than I am, and I'm better on the bigger tracks.
Yeah. Yes, he was. I think he would have been would have been better off if. I think he would have been happy if you'd been in a bit closer.
Yeah,
but,
I think so.
you know, we love the way you race, so I don't care.
I mean, I still got the pole position and the fastest lap, and you got 6X, and I got 3, so I'm not losing any points.
No, it's you know, it's as long as we get good, exciting racing and you enjoy yourselves, everybody enjoys themselves. Who cares?
Yeah.
You do them so well. You are, and when you were getting your foot down, I thought, crikey, that was really good. It was exciting to watch, but yeah, I think Simon was really in control. Once he got in front, he was so. I think it's so hard to be that consistent lap after lap after lap, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
Yeah, he was really good on. But he's good on the twisty, tight tracks.
Yes.
Which I'm always good at murdering my tires.
Yeah, well, big car to get round here. Crikey. Yeah. Well,
So
thank you
Pete,
very much. Do you want to give some shouts out?
Yeah, wait, give me 1 sec. Pete, how are the cameras?
Oh, yes. Thank you for saying that, because Pete did a hell of a job, I thought, actually.
Not for me to judge, but it's good to see that you've come back as first loser.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that because I wasn't on cam. No, thank you guys for setting up the broadcast. Guys in Discord as well. Congratulations to Simon and Hartwell. I had a really fun race. Thanks to you guys. Not Pete because he did a shit job.
No.
That's about it.
Thank you very much, Wobbly. Thank you very much for your entertainment tonight. I enjoyed that, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Cheers.
Okay, well done, Alan. So let's bring in our third place TCR driver, Russell Cowell. Welcome to the booth.
Evening.
Yet another podium.
I know. Get a bit. It's been. I'm going to start getting nosebleeds every time we race.
But let's put a little cloud over it. Out tactical. There's just no word for this, so I'm going to make this up. Out tacticalized. That's a good word. By Spencer.
And we swear.
Yeah, do it.
So you mean Spencer's a knob, basically, and too quick for everyone that he has to overtake when everyone's pitting and be the clever clugs.
Well, yeah. You know, we see you have that big battle with Carl at the start, which obviously gave Lucky a nice gap. Then when you got past Carl, I was half expecting you to pull away from him, but you didn't.
He was. Yeah, he had immense pace all the way through, and I couldn't shake him at all.
But what was going through your head there? Spencer's had a problem at the start. I've got past Carl. All right, I can't shake him, but I could get a second place here. And then it all went a bit Pete Tong, didn't it?
Yeah. So I was driving around. I thought Spencer disconnected because he did the whole disappearing off the front again, and I thought he's not disconnected again, has he? Obviously, I didn't see him reconnect. So the first time I see him is when I'm going through, coming out the pits. I'm like, hang on a minute, how has he got here? So we all tend to stay muted when we're in Discord. So I stayed muted. I was like, what the freaking hell is he doing? Where's he come from? And then after that, I was kind of looking at what lap he pitted on and trying to work out whether he needed to pit again. But I was spending like lap after lap thinking about it, and I was like, this is slowing me down. I probably need to forget about it. He's gone now. So yeah, it was an immense run from him. Like, he must have pitted at the exact right moment, to be honest. I can't fault him for doing it either, because it's just Spencer, and you expect something like that from even Wook, Spencer, and Sam, that they'll pull something out the bag like that when they're at the back.
Yes, it certainly is. Silver lining, obviously, another podium and qualification for the head-to-head semi-finals with an overall win over Matt Elmore. So still fighting in that championship as well.
Yeah, and it's one of them. I think Matt had another unlucky moment tonight by the sounds of it. I think he's on and off with that car, depending on what track we're on. We've had quite a few newish tracks that me and Matt haven't driven on before that have come up, and it's been quite fun to learn them. But I think he's the type of person that in practice can do the lap, and then he gets in the race, and I think he thinks about it too much and then doesn't.
Yeah.
So I think that's gone against him. Like, he's very good when we come to do the practice, and then all of a sudden he just doesn't have that momentum going in the race or the qualifying.
We saw him make one mistake, which cost him, I think, 3 positions, and he never really recovered from it. But like I say, back to you. Like I say, you're the one that's going to go through to the semi-finals and Mid-Ohio next time out. How do you go around there?
All right, but I've never done it in a TCR, so it's going to be an experience. I've done it in GTs in the past, so we'll have to wait and see how it feels, I guess. It's going to be a learning curve, so I'll start practicing tomorrow.
Okay. Any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, Wook obviously for storming the lead again, Spencer for that knobbish behaviour, and everyone, like Carl for the mega race. I need to peel myself off my seat in a minute, which is nice. And for him filling my mirror pretty much all the way through the race, and I don't mean that because of his size, I meant just because of how close he was. And you guys for putting on the show as always.
Excellent. Well, I say congratulations on yet another podium, and we'll see you next time out.
Yeah, see you next week, guys.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, let's see if we can drag Jamie Wilson in whilst he's busy posting his Twitch videos. Jamie Wilson, welcome to the booth.
Evening.
Third again.
Yeah. Deja vu.
Yeah. You was under, especially the second half of the race, or even shall we say, the second quarter onwards. Once those two had broken away at the front, you was in a little bit of no man's land, and then Rob Venn and Stefan Goebel dragged themselves up to you. Rob was putting you under a lot of pressure. Then Rob had a PC crash, and then Stefan was then trying to put you under pressure. So, that track looked like it was hard work and you never got a rest, but also your fellow competitors never gave you a rest either.
Yeah, I'm double knackered as a result. Yeah, pretty hard work. The track on its own is difficult enough. But yeah, I was never put under pressure to the point where I started really having to defend super hard or anything like that. So it was just a case of managing whatever was behind me as best as I could. So I'm gutted for Rob that he had that issue, because I think he definitely had an opportunity there to make something happen in the same way that Stefan did towards the end there. So yeah, gutted for him. And yeah, I just didn't have the pace of the two up front, obviously, but especially so around here. I didn't really get into a rhythm until about halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way through the race. I was just really struggling at turn 5 most of all. So yeah, pretty happy with third after that, all things considered.
And how we've heard, Simon never really lets on whether he struggles with tyres or anything else, and I'm not entirely convinced he does, because he is a very smooth driver. Wally was complaining that he basically killed his front tyres in the Aston. How was yours? Was you struggling towards the end, or had you managed to keep something in reserve?
No, I wasn't especially struggling. Obviously, the car went off a bit, but not any more than would be expected. I mean, it's quite difficult on the fronts here because, or it's quite hard on the fronts because of the quick succession of hairpins. Particularly the left front will take a bit of a beating around there. But I mean, I called it out, but in practice to Simon, should we be too worried about tyre wear? And he was like, nah, it's fine. And yeah, it was, for us, to be honest. I wonder if Wobbly might have been putting a bit too much wheel into it or something like that. That could easily take a few extra % off. I wasn't especially trying to be that conservative on them, but I don't know, maybe just the way that Simon and I drive, we just naturally don't quite wear them out as hard.
Yeah. Okay, so the answer to this next question is I'm absolutely fantastic. It's my favourite track in the world. How do you go round Mid-Ohio next week?
I thought you were going to say, what did I think of Winton?
Well, there's a caveat to this question, because when I asked Simon about Mid-Ohio, he said, I'm not very good round there. I don't really like the track. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering are we going to be popping the party poppers next week and celebrating a Jamie Wilson victory over Simon Trendle?
Wishful thinking, I think. I've always gone pretty well around there. I do classic IndyCar series around there and only span about 3 times, but then that's that car, not the track.
What about after lap 1?
I'm not. Come on now, I'm not Jason as much as Pete. No, I really like the track. Simon's view on it historically, going back a long time to R Factor version of it and all sorts, is basically that Mid-Ohio is to Simon what Donington is to Wobbly. Just doesn't like it and never has.
That's all changed now.
Well, all right, what Donington was to Wobbly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's now in love with Donington after driving around here.
Well, yeah, fair point. I actually like this track, but then I like Snetterton and weird tracks like that, or Zolder or Motegi, places that generally the general membership doesn't really get on with. I like all of those. So.
Yeah, me too, Jamie. I like them all.
Well,
yeah, looking forward to Alton. I think GT4s particularly be quite well suited to that track. It's quite a flowing track, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay, excellent. Well, before we let you go, and bearing in mind that you did actually get a shout out from your teammate this week, first time ever. Any shout outs you want to give?
Yep, to yourselves as always. To Sam for such an amazing job he's done on the cameras tonight.
He was brilliant, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's just fantastic.
Doing it all remotely.
I'm sure it was just amazing. Yeah.
Oui, merci
I don't know what
beaucoup.
Pete was doing here. And of course to Wobbly for hosting.
Of course. Okay, well, congratulations on another 3rd place, Jamie Wilson.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, so last but not least, we have our 9th place finisher in TCR, Matt Flannery. Welcome back to the booth.
Hello, how's it going?
Not too bad. Now, we see you in a few battles tonight. First of all, what did you make of Winton?
It's not my favourite track. I find it a bit awkward, particularly through the middle. It's obviously difficult to overtake, but yeah, I kind of a bit more love for it having finished the race there than there was when I started.
Okay, there was, especially from your one of your teammates, Spencer. There was a lot of the overtaking was done on the pit lane, shall we say? Did you find it particularly difficult to get past anybody on this track?
I mean, I think to be honest, in before my pit stop, I was kind of just hanging on to the back of Gary, really. I think I think Matt was holding him up a bit, and I was just managing to sort of stay in that train. I don't think I really had many opportunities to overtake myself. Obviously, when I came out of the pits, I came out just in front of Matt, and we lost a position to David throughout the pit stops, just by virtue of losing time fighting with each other. But yeah, it's difficult to see. I think unless you have quite a decent pace differential, it's difficult to see where you would be able to overtake on this track. I think you'd have to really put a bit of planning into it over a few corners. I don't think there's many opportunities to just get past someone.
Yeah, I think it's looking. So I've not actually driven the track yet, but it's to me starting to look like one of those. I call them send it and see tracks. So you just plough one down the inside and hope that the other car sees you and takes avoiding action.
Yeah,
I can guess it's going to be a bit of a nightmare in officials.
Yeah, I haven't done any officials yet this week, so we'll see. But I think from talking to some of the other guys, it's been a bit of a mess, and I think obviously the
qualification is so important, isn't it?
As well is not huge. So
that obviously that workout is now out of the way. Next time out, we're at Mid Ohio. How do you go around there?
not bad. I've only actually raced there once before, but I had reasonable pace for me, so I'm quite looking forward to it. Like Mid Ohio, decent track. So yeah.
Yeah, good
for
stuff.
A good outing, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I certainly think, obviously, obviously it's your first season with us. Hopefully, there's going to be many more. I'm starting to see those improvements that slowly start creeping people up the grid now coming from you. A lot less, I mean this in the nicest possible way, a lot less mistakes than at the start of the season, a lot more consistency. And when you start putting those two things together, the speed then comes naturally. So I'm looking forward to. I hope you're going to be joining us next season, because I'm now going to start looking forward to see your progression and where your natural pace is within this TCR field.
Yeah, certainly planning to be here next season. It's been enjoyable so far. I mean, as you say, consistency is kind of key, really, and that's sort of what I'm trying to focus on. And yeah, I occasionally have like one lap where I'm sort of reasonably quick, and it's trying to just stretch that out over a whole race and a whole qualifying session to find those improvements in lap time and move myself up a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely, and I'm sure you'll get there, mate. Anyway, it's nearly time for us to go. So, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Just want out to you guys for putting on the league and everything, and sort of spending your time interviewing and commentating, and I look forward to watching the stream back tomorrow.
Not a problem. Well, congratulations on tonight, and hopefully we'll see you next time out at Mid Ohio.
Yeah, catch you guys next week.
Grand.
Right, guys. So that is our interviews over. So let's move on to the pressure cooker. That is driver of the meeting.
It is a pressure cooker this week, I think.
Now, I know Sir Alan has probably been thinking about this since about 3 o'clock this afternoon, because he doesn't like being put on the spot, but we like to put him on the spot. So,
yes.
Alan, who is your GT4 driver of the evening?
Well, this is really difficult, I think. I'm going to go for Stefan, because he's been there and trying hard for weeks now, and I've got. I really want him to do well, and I'm going to give him the shout this week for this. I am for sticking in there and doing well.
Not a bad call. And your TCR driver of the evening.
Oh yeah, I know that you won't go for a winner. Now, I'm going to go for Stephen, because that was a heck of a drive today, and he didn't even enjoy it that much out in the front. Driving a great pace, consistent, no mistakes, and he won the race.
Okay, so TCR driver is Stephen Walker. Now, Pete weren't in the race, so you can't vote for yourself. As our cameraman tonight, we are going to give you a vote. So, who would be your choice for GT4 driver of the evening?
I think based on the fact that he beat Wobbly, which is always going to do well for me, and he had a pretty flawless race, I've got to go with Simon.
Okay.
Yeah, can see that.
Again, not a bad call. All I've got to do is try and find him. There he is. No, he's not. There he is. Right, got him. And your TCR driver of the evening, please.
Well, can you possibly choose anybody else other than Spencer? He's absolutely mullered the field. When you were doing the interviews, I was showing just how many people he passed in the pit while they were in pit lane. He's pulled a blinder. That's just too good for me. Too good.
Okay, yeah, not a bad call at all. So for me, I don't vote for the winners. So sorry, Simon. I very nearly went against all of my principles and voted for Wobbly. Right up until the fact that he told us he got bored. Not having that. You don't get bored in our leagues. They're the best ever. I nearly voted for Rob because he's shown some fantastic speed last week and this week, and then unluckily had his blue screen of death. Jamie Wilson, another third place. Stefan Goebel, you're right, chased him all the way. On the basis that I need to pick somebody that did well, I can't vote for Simon because he won, and I can't vote for Wobbly because he's wobbly. My vote is going to go to Jamie Wilson. And in TCR, and I know where Alan is coming from with his vote for Stephen, but I'm going to have to go against all of my principles and totally and utterly agree with Pete. And there is no way I could not vote for Spencer McCarthy tonight after a driver error to start with, but then having the tactical nous and the talent to turn a horrible moment after going for a foggy into a class drive and a second place. It's going to be Spencer McCarthy for me. Right, so...
can I have my round of thank yous for not choosing Spencer now? See, as I went first. You shouldn't choose him deliberately so that you two could have the glory.
Oh, well, that makes it even sweeter. Right, what have we got coming up then? So, we are back in, I don't know if anybody can remember, but a week and a half ago, we started a new series called the Hexil Alt F4 Championship, running the iRacing Formula 4 car, and it was phenomenal. I've not enjoyed watching commentating on a race like that for many moons. Well, it's back in action on Saturday from the Red Bull Ring. I'm absolutely convinced that's going to be another storming race. That will be fantastic. And then next Wednesday, as we've already spoke about with the drivers, we are back in Gt4 TCR action with round 9 from mid-Ohio. Season is hotting up, head-to-head into the semi-finals. That's hotting up, so going to be absolutely fantastic. So, I would like to say big thank you, as usual, to the drivers for putting on that show. Thanks to everybody that joins in on the chat. As usual, make sure you drop this video a like. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, and make sure you follow us on Facebook so you never miss any of the action. Big thank you to Sir Alan for joining us in the booth. I have a sneaky feeling that he's thoroughly enjoying himself. I'm pretty sure everybody will agree that he hit the ground running when I gave him about 30 seconds notice that he's doing broadcasting for us, and he is most certainly getting better and better and better every week. So thank you to Alan, and also thanks to Pete. First time he's ever done the cameras for us. It can be nerve-wracking. It almost went without a glitch, and I'm sure the more that Pete does it, the better it's going to get. So thanks to Pete. Just leaves me to say good night to everybody. Let the guys say good night, and then we will close the broadcast. So good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in on Saturday. Stay safe, and I'm out of here. Good night.
Good night, folks. I'll be racing on Saturday, so that should be fun if you want to tune in and watch. Excitement. And well done to Pete tonight. I think he did a cracking job. So thanks so much for watching. Catch you next week.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. And thanks for everybody who watched and to the drivers. Always appreciated, and you're what makes this community what it is. So thank you.
Have you turned the switch off, Peter?